Let's start by lifting the band up. We'll feel the shoulder blades widen on the back. We're going to lift the band up towards the ceiling. And then we'll plug the arms into the shoulder socket. Feel how the arms sink down. The shoulder blades get heavy on the mat. Let's do that one more time. Shoulder blades widen, lifting the TheraBand. Lowering the arms, plugging them into the torso. Let them be heavy. And then also notice that the ribs are heavy here too. And we're going to try and keep that heaviness through the upper body. Left arm is going to stay exactly where it is, and the right arm is going to start to pull away. Doesn't matter how far you pull. And we'll float that arm back up. And let's just notice the equal weighting between the two sides of the body. And as that right arm pulls, notice if you're able to keep some level of symmetry there. There is going to probably be a little shifting because it just makes sense in the way we're moving. I'm using my exhale as we pull out and my inhale as I come in. One more on this side. And then we're going to leave that right arm hovering above the shoulder, and only the left arm is going to pull. And as we switch to this side, just notice any differences between your ability to keep that equal weighting between the two halves of the body. Keep breathing. The next time this arm comes up, we'll pause. We're going to do double arm pulls, pulling both wide. Check in with the wrists. See if you can get the wrists in neutral. So that means the forearm and the back of the hand are in a straight-ish line. We're going to do one more as we pull wide. Feel the back, upper back supporting this movement. And then don't let the band carry you back in. Resist that pull back in. So we're getting work in both directions. Beautiful. Let's take our left hand. We're going to place the left hand on the left hip, and then the right hand's going to come over top. And we're going to start with pulling a diagonal sash pull. So we'll take our right arm, we'll open it to the side, almost like we're drawing a sword or making a sash across the body. Just going to adjust my resistance here. We'll pause at the top, feel the arm sinking down towards the mat as the ribs stay soft. And then we'll bring that arm back in. And we'll continue there, drawing the sword, feel the arm sink towards the mat, and then coming back in, using that resistance on the way, that sense of resistance on the way in too. So I sometimes like to think of it as you are controlling the band. Don't let the band control your arm. It's not just yanking you back in, but you're resisting just slightly so that you can still come back in, but you're in control. We'll pause here after that one. Then we're going to keep that elbow bent. So as the arm comes overhead, we're going to have a 90-degree angle in that arm. Forehead comes up. I'm going to just roll so you can see me above your head. And then have a pause, feel the ribs heavy, feel the arm sink down towards the mat. And then we'll bring that arm back, that hand back to the left hand. Let's stay here. Opening, feel the ribs heavy as the arm comes up. Resisting back down. So here we get that a double benefit as well. So we're getting this strength benefit from the resistance of the TheraBand, and we're also getting a mobility benefit. So as we come overhead, that resistance is going to help us to find a little bit more range of motion through the joint. So you may notice as we move through this that increases slightly. One more here. Arm comes up. So last variation, we're going to pull that band so it's straight up the left side of the body, but the right arm is going to be straight on a diagonal. I'll just roll here so that you can sort of see. Pause, let that arm sink down towards the floor. Ribs are heavy. And then we'll resist that band on the way in. So each step we take in this series, each variation is a little bit more work than the previous one. So feel free at any time to return to something that we've already done, if that's working better for you today. We'll do 2 more here. Coming back home, we're going to switch hands. So we'll bring our right hand to our right hip, the left hand on top. We're going to start with our sash, opening on a diagonal. Feel the arms sink towards the floor as the ribs stay soft. And then we'll bend that arm back in, resisting return home. We're going to stay in this with this move. You might notice a difference between the left and right side. And if you do, just try and notice it without attaching any kind of story to it. And just work with that within the range that's available to each side. We're going to do one more of this, drawing our sword. And then we'll move into that. I like to think of it as picture frame. The left elbow will be bent, and as we come up and over, we're framing the face. I'll just roll so you can see me again here. We'll let the ribs be heavy, arms sink towards the mat, and then we'll resist that return back home. So in the body, the shoulder girdle that we've been working on with this series is one of the parts of the body that if there are imbalances in the muscles, that it can ripple down and affect the movement patterns, and it can affect our core strength. And when I say muscle imbalances, what I mean is that if we have some muscles that are shorter than their optimal length and some that are longer than their optimal length, which will impact the strength of those muscles. And if some muscles are stronger than others, it just changes how the shoulder girdle works. And so we're just working on rebalancing those muscles. Let's switch into the next one. We'll bring the band up straight to the side, elbow is straight, arm can soften, ribs soften. And then we'll return back home. And we're practicing rebalancing them by giving all of the little muscles a chance to lengthen and a chance to shorten, and giving them all strength opportunities. We've got 2 more here. Good. We're going to hold on to the band. We'll just give the arms a little shake.